Hello, hello. It is your Astro Coach Sarah here for your weekly update, astrology, tarot, oracle, crystals, other energy, spiritual tools and practices, and all of the things. Welcome to Aquarius season. Y'all know this is my jam. Okay. Do you know what the universe is giving me for my birthday this year? A solar eclipse right on my motherfucking sun. Pray for me, okay? Okay. We'll get there. That's not till later in the season. This week, this is the 21st, January 21st through the 26th. So this week you may be getting a lot of holy shit, what the fuck kind of moments because all of these personal planets that were hanging out in Capricorn are now coming into Aquarius and smashing into Pluto. And so they're also all coming back awake since they all Cazimi'd or conjuncted the sun, meaning they got burned out by the sun. What that means is the sun like overpowers all of the planets. So Mercury, Venus, and Mars. The Mercury Cazimi is on the 21st, and then the sun conjuncts Pluto the 22nd, and then Mercury the 23rd, and then Mars by the 27th. And so but even in Capricorn, we had Mars and Venus conjunct the sun. So they're all kind of waking back up. They've kind of been reborn. And oddly enough, so I do get support from my card decks for the oil. I don't know this one. This is Mamuka, Mamuka. I am not familiar with this. I tried to do a little research, didn't really come up with anything. But I can tell you that this one is like a rebirthing or regenerating, transformative. It looks like a flower with white petals. Again, I don't know a lot about this one, but I thought that was interesting since like now we're going to have these planets moving into Aquarius and kind of waking back up. And I felt like that was kind of in alignment. Um, and so as we move through this week, when things like the now Venus, the goddess of love, the finances, relationships, is coming back like in Aquarius, where she kind of likes to have dynamic relationships, not just like, the same humdrum, boring relationships. She likes to have all kinds of relationships. Mars moving into Aquarius, he is what turns you on. Mars in Aquarius is turned on by intellect and wisdom and, that kind of wisdom, intellect, conversations, like deep conversations. If you've ever talked to me, I am not a small talk type of person. I am definitely did you catch that Star Trek episode? Because, Captain did this and I felt like that meant this for humanity or whatever. Like that is how I watch TV. Um, and so I don't really watch things superficially. And I have a Mars and Aquarius. Um, and then the sun, Mercury, Cazimi, this is his post retrograde superior Cazimi, meaning when he went retrograde, this was back in November of 2025 in Sagittarius and Scorpio. Now he's been direct and he's going to catch up with the sun here at, I think it's at 2 degrees of Aquarius, and then the sun will conjunct Pluto. And then Mercury will conjunct Pluto. So you can bet that Pluto is gonna surface some dark shit about everything, money related things, relationship related things. What exactly are we motivated by? What do we need to take action? And since this is Aquarius, it's all about the greater good of humanity, right? Aquarius wants the greatest good for humanity. And so I know Aquarius gets this really weird rap, but if you've ever talked to me, I'm actually really very much like there are solutions to all of the problems of the world. We're just not looking in the right places, meaning we're all trying to find solutions within the current system and structure and government and healthcare and all that, instead of looking outside of that system and structure that's collapsing. And so, what are you looking for conventional shit really what are you seeking conventional or quote unquote responsible, quote unquote, like solutions for when what you really need to do is look outside the box, right? If you've ever watched Doctor Who hangs out in the TARDIS, which is a police phone box. And for reference, if you don't know what a police phone box is, think about an old school phone booth. And it was really small, right, on the inside. But the TARDIS, uh, what is it, time and something dimensional. I can't remember what TARDIS stands for. TARDIS is how you spell it. You can look it up on the internet if you want to. Um, but the TARDIS is bigger on the inside, right? So it's like there is no confined space within the box. So you got to think outside the box. You got to be a bit of a hierophant during this Aquarius season when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to how you get money, when it comes to what you're motivated by. Because I have it, if you're watching my content, you're probably not motivated by conventional shit, because I'm not. Um, so, as we get into this Aquarius season, it's like stop looking within the confines of this system that currently exists, the one that makes you want to feel like you're broken, like you don't fit in, like you're socially inept, that you're socially awkward, all that shit. No, you're not. The system is. Um, so, think about that as we move through this week. And then by the 26th, we will have Neptune make his way back into Aries, where he will be for the next 15 years. What does that mean? There's a lot of things here to unpack about Neptune and Aries. And of course, we're going to be talking about it, if I'm still doing these videos in 15 years, we're going to be talking about Neptune in Aries. But initially, what that's going to mean is we are going to need to pay attention to Aries energy and where Aries is in your birth chart. And so, because Aries is the I am of the zodiac, Neptune is creative. Neptune's also an illusion. And so maybe your illusion about yourself is that you're broken and that you're fucked up and that you don't fit in. And the answer is correct. You do not fit in and you are not broken. But what's happening is concurrently, while we have Neptune moving in and reminding you of who you are and giving you this spice of creativity and warrior-esque spirit to be creative, Pluto's in Aquarius going, what are you going to do with it to help humans, to help others? And here's the thing, we've got this ongoing South Node Virgo situation, which, if you are a Virgo, you've been going through it since January of 2025. Yes, 2025. You're like, why is my world flipped upside down? It's because the South Node's been in Virgo. And that tends to flip upside down person's world if they have a lot of Virgo placements. And so, but this is taking a long time and we're not done with it. The nodes don't move until July of this year, but we're not done with Pisces Virgo eclipses until February, I think, or March of 2027. So the universe is slowly exposing things, and Virgo rules things like routines, work, coworkers. Virgo Pisces is the health axis of the zodiac. So we're learning things about health and healthcare, and health related practices. And so things like that. Again, I'm going to go back to it. Stop seeking answers within the system that is coming apart. That's not what we're going to move forward with. And all these planets piling up in Aquarius is here to show you that you're not the problem. The system is the problem. You're fine because Aquarius likes weird. Aquarius likes different. I'm somebody who I don't have to agree with or like what you're doing to appreciate that it has you shine and makes you feel good, right? There's a lot of people who have weird interests that I'm like, I don't even understand, but they can talk about it with such passion that it lights me up to hear them talk about what they're up to. And so, and I can always learn something from it. And, when I was on my trip to Montana, we were sitting out in a parking lot one night, mostly because my brother, my sister-in-law, like their cigars, and we couldn't smoke cigars inside where we were. So we were sitting out in the parking lot, chit-chatting away, and this guy comes up and joins our conversation, and him and my brother get to talking about welding. My brother has been a welder for, I don't know, 20 something years. So he knows a lot about welding. I don't know crap about welding, but boy, let me tell you, I learned a lot in 20 minutes or however long they were chatting about welding. It's no interest to me. I have no reason to know anything about welding, but it was super cool to hear my brother talk about the work that he does, and his knowledge of welding and how metals work and things like that and the machinery. And I, again, way outside my realm of even comprehending what the hell they were talking about, but it was just super cool. That's what I'm kind of saying. Like, I don't have to understand or know. And I think if more of us got open-minded to, like, I don't need to understand it, I don't need to, but I can be open to hearing and learning what you're into and what you're up to. And so as we move into this, and then this whole Neptune and Pisces, or excuse me, Neptune and Aries, there are definitely some health related things here. We're going to have a lot of Aries energy for a long time. So you're going to want to be attentive to your digestion, what you're actually eating and how it affects you. How often are you going number two? How often do you poop? That kind of thing. How often do you have like acid reflux? How is your belly digesting? All of those sorts of things, but also like inflammation throughout your body, and taking care of that, staying hydrated, electrolytes if necessary, um, things like that. And so, certainly as we move through the next few months, getting into this whole, Aries energy, we're all going to want to be a little extra attentive to what we're doing. Maybe not multitasking, but just singular tasking till you complete a task, or switch back and forth intentionally so that you're not multitasking. Because I feel like with this much fire and air, accidents and injury inducing accidents could be more prevalent. So that's something to maybe just be aware of. Um, okay, so we talked about the mamuka flower. Again, I don't know much about it. All I know is what the card says, that it's regenerating, that it's transformative. But I feel like it's one of those, like, the planets are coming out of their combustion with the sun, or they're being burned out by the sun, and they're coming back to life. And here we are in this new Aquarius season, right after that Capricorn new moon. And so it's a good opportunity for each of us to kind of revitalize, rejuvenate ourselves. We also got Jasmine. And Jasmine is one that can attract your desires. And so be the Hierophant. The thing is the reason that you don't fit in is because you're around people who don't appreciate what you really want. And so, if you can get those people in your world who actually appreciate you for what you desire, things go a lot differently. A lot of the reason people get into a victim mindset is they don't know themselves well enough to speak out for themselves. So they kind of get into this, I must attract attention and I must attract people, who don't want, there's like there's a thing about appreciating the people in your world who actually want you to improve, so they're not afraid to confront you about it. There's a difference between that and berating you. So just to clarify that. Um, Okay, I also wanted to talk about the throat chakra this week. And I have this is a roller, crystal roller. Now, to be honest, I have never verified whether my crystals are real or if they're made of resin. So I'll say that. But I do like this roller. It's sodalite, I believe is the stone. And sodalite is good. It's a blue stone. It's good for the throat chakra. And I often use a frankincense oil on my throat before I film so that I, can, you know, set the intention that I'm speaking what is necessary to be spoken. Um, and then this roller you can use on your throat to give it that energy of speaking your truth. And I feel like with the jasmine, with the Mamuka, with the idea of being the Hierophant, with the idea of being yourself and your truest, unique self, this can be very supportive in having you speak your truth. So, kind of another thing as we move into all this like Neptune and Aries, Saturn and Aries energy is people are going to get a bit more self-absorbed. And so you being able to speak and advocate and be kind is going to be important. I would not go into this 2026 year with the assumption that people know what you need because people aren't going to give a fuck what you need if you do not ask for what you need, right? I'm not saying kindness is going to go out the window, but if you're expecting people to just know that you need assistance with something, you may be sorely mistaken. And so therefore learning to ask for what you need. You know, if you need assistance with something, if you need somebody to help you with your groceries, if you need somebody to, I don't know, reach something off of the top shelf, if you need support, you're going to need to learn how to ask for support. And so practicing using your throat chakra to speak what you need. And if you don't know the type of support that you need, then that's some self-development, personal development work to focus some attention on. So there's that. Um, but this week, it's going to start moving faster. And certainly from here on out, it's going to move faster. I think the first 2 weeks of the year was about as calm as it gets for 2026. So um, you know, be thinking about things that are flammable, inflammable, or that create inflammation rather. Think about, you know, what happens when fire and air come together, what happens when fire and fluids come together. And by that I mean Neptune also rules things like gasoline, and other fuel types of things or liquid injectables and things like that. And what happens when fire comes in contact with those things? You have combustion, right? Um, and so you're going to really want to be aware of your surroundings in, you know, when you're outside. I'm not saying don't go outside because I believe in getting outside every day or as much as you can every day. And so, but I do also believe that if you feel in your spidey senses are like, nope, that happened to me the other day. I was outside and I literally just thought to myself, no, I don't need to go that way today. And usually there's a reason why you shouldn't go that way. Maybe there is somebody down that street that you don't need to have anything to do with. Maybe there's a car accident up ahead that you can't see from where you are. You know, things like that. And so when your spidey senses are speaking up, you're going to have to learn how to pay attention. Notably, all of the Mercury retrogrades this year are going to be in water signs. If you're over on the Awakening Spirit Collective, I gave out all of the dates for the Mercury retrogrades. They're all in water signs, meaning that the universe is asking us to pay attention to our spidey senses, to our intuition, to the messages we're receiving through our senses, because it's gonna be very like conductive to have Mercury retrograding in all of the water signs. So there's that. What else do I need to talk about for this week? I kind of feel like that's it. Let's get some cards. I got the tarot deck and I got the Oracle deck is going to be, of course, the dark magic because it's Aquarius, Magick magic. So let's see what's up with the tarot for this first week of Aquarius season. Let's hope I don't drop any cards today because y'all know I don't take dropped cards. I put them back in the deck. I also don't, I gently shuffle my cards. I don't shuffle till a card falls out. I feel like that's disrespectful to my deck. So I don't do that. If you watch tarot readers that do that, not okay. According to the lady I took a course from, whose name is Erica. Erica? No, that's not her name. Maybe it is Erica or Emily. Shit, that makes me mad that I can't remember her name. And I follow her and I watch her videos. I can't remember her damn name. That's awful. I think she goes by 22 Guru here on YouTube. So, but I took a course from her on tarot, and she also points out that you should not smash the deck until cards fall out, because you really want to be kind and respectful to this tool that you're using. So, um, anywho, now I'm gonna be mad because I can't remember the gal's name. Anyway, she's pretty good. I like how she calls out, bogus fake social media, so-called spiritual people. Cracks me up. All right. What we got? Um, all right, we got the eight. Oh, Eight of Cups in reverse. Eight of Cups in reverse. So the Eight of Cups upright looks like he's turning away. Maybe the Eight of Cups in reverse is going towards something. If you look at it this way, it looks like he's turning away. I try to go by what the picture is, but I can't always see the pictures very well, which is why I get so insecure. But the Eight of Cups in reverse. Should we look it up to be sure? Let's look it up to be sure. So I'll give y'all some misguided information. Oops. Get back out of there. That's not what we wanted. Um, Tarot 101. All right. Are you sure? Okay, there's cups. Okay, Eight of Cups in reverse. Um, Returning to the material world, returning to addiction. Oh, this is nice. Staying, staying put, um, sticking it out. The person, come on. The person has already left. Um, yeah, staying out. Something's already gone. I mean, I think it's fairly obvious. Like if you're clinging on to, we were talking about this in a call I was in recently, but like, many of us have been through, if you've been through a healing journey, if you've been through a dark night of the soul, then you've already kind of turned your back on certain parts of the world we're leaving behind. So you're not, but some people have not, right? They're shocked when when their job is laying them off because they don't have a plan B, right? And the South Node Virgo is having a lot of people lose their jobs. And with the medical system collapsing, people are shocked when the doctors don't know anymore. And so what I was feeling as we were having this conversation was like, if you've been through some of that and you already have an awareness, you're not freaking out, panicking because all this shit's coming to light. you're not freaking out, panicking because the stuff's being exposed that's being exposed right now because you already kind of knew. But some people are kicking and screaming and throwing tantrums because of what's currently going on. And so there's kind of something to be said if you've been in the practice of personal development work, emotional intelligence work, and you've already kind of disconnected yourself from that because that world is gone. It's already gone. Like, yes, it's still current, like right now it still exists, but it is you can see the cracks and the cuts in the framework already. And it's getting more and more evident. And I have no doubt that this first week of Aquarius is really going to make it evident as everything collides into Pluto. So, I think that's interesting. Like it's already gone. It's already dissipating. It's already dissolving. And if you're clinging on to that, it's going to freak you out. It's going to send you into anxiety and panic mode, even though astrology's been trying to tell you for years that this shit's collapsing. But who wants to listen to an astrologer? It's just planets. Um, so yeah, it's like, like some of it's kind of laughable at this point. It's like astrology's been talking about this for years, and people think that astrology is not valid, but like every day, especially mundane astrologers. I'm not a mundane astrologer. If you want to go check out mundane astrology, I highly recommend Robert Phoenix, the Leo King. Evan Nathaniel Grimm's really good. Those guys do mundane astrology a hell of a lot better than I do. And they can follow all the events and track all the charts, and kudos to them for being able to do that. I'm more of a wellness and medical astrologer, in that I would rather use it to, as a from a personal development perspective. And there's nothing wrong with either any of the way any of us do it. But these guys can point out, I mean, Robert Phoenix pointed out some shit about Erica Kirk a month before that crazy started happening. So, and Leo King, you should subscribe to his Substack and his YouTube. He's actually really good. He's a little bit of he's got a lot of Leo, but I mean so um but a lot of those guys are way better at mundane stuff than I am. And they've been pointing out all of this stuff for years. So, to astrologers, none of this stuff is new. It's already done. And that's why I keep kind of pointing to like, if this structure is indeed collapsing, what are you doing? Let's get one more kind of a clarifier to that. Um, oops, that was weird. Why was that card flipped wrong? Sorry, one second. We'll do one more little shuffle here because that card was right side up and I don't know why. Oh well. Anyway. All right. So we got, oh, the tower in reverse. Ooh, I love this. So the tower, when it's upright, means something is ending, but the tower in reverse is something's being rebuilt. So let's put these two together. We've got the Eight of Cups in reverse, it's already gone. And then this is what's fucking what I've been saying this whole fucking time. You can't make this shit up sometimes. Okay. Because the tower in reverse is what is something's being rebuilt. So, basically it something is already on its way to be here when this one collapses. The question is to ask yourself is what part of this are you going to participate in? Because you get to choose whether you're going to be a part of the new thing that's being created by some dark energy, or are you going to create your own from a positive, abundant place? Or are you going to be in scarcity mode and go with whatever they tell you is going on? Let's see what's up with the dark magic oracle. Come on. Come on. Really? There we go. These most recent iPhone updates have been some bullshit. We got Cocoon and it says, um, consider your source. Ooh. Um, are you going with what's being sold to you, or are you trusting your gut? Consider your source. Are you able to discern? And I'm gonna be honest, um I've been duped by AI more in the last few weeks than I ever have been. And I used to be able to distinguish this shit, but I mean, it's not as easy to distinguish what's AI and what's not. But what I'm gonna say is that if you're asking the question, it's probably AI. That's your answer. So consider your source. If it feels off, it's probably off. But also, like, it could feel off. I mean, I don't know. This is where it gets super fucking dicey, right? Because it's like, okay, it feels really weird. That doesn't seem like it should be true, but it is true. You may not know what to believe. And this is where you being able to stand in your own power and your own authority and your own discernment. My buddy and I were just talking about this the other day. Like being able to discern what's true and what's not true anymore is like getting to be next to impossible, which is another reason why the media is probably going to collapse because it's what the fuck are we even talking about anymore? Consider your source. Also consider your source when it comes to your creativity. Do you really give a fuck what people think about what you do? If I did, I wouldn't say the F word, I promise, because my mom, okay? If you know my mom does not like the F word, okay? But it's not her video, it's not her content. Love my mom. Promise. I promise. I was gonna say one more thing. What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, okay. If you made it this far in the video, I meant to say this in the beginning, but if you made it this far in the video, please drop a comment and let me know your favorite kids chapter book, like junior high level, maybe not even young adult. I think more like like junior high level, because I need like sixth grade level books to read because I just got a Braille book reader and I'm not good at Braille, which is why I got a Braille book reader. But I need to know. I remember like the Ramona Quimby books. I'm probably going to read those because that just sounds fun. I think that was like fourth grade level. Um, and then I may go read um, uh, I read The Babysitter's Club when I was a kid, so maybe those. But I'm asking because I need some very simple books to read, and I don't read simple literature. I read complex literature, and I don't think trying to read the next book in the Wheel of Time on the Braille reader is the good idea because I think I would be more frustrated than not. But anyway, so if you have a favorite chapter book, from your childhood, I would love to know what that is. So if you made it this far in in the video, please comment and let me know what your favorite. But anyway, what are you looking forward to in the Aquarius season? Like what are you excited to start showing the world that you've been up to? I hope that you're going to share your voice with the rest of us because we all want to know what each other is creating. So, anywho, all right, that's all I got. I will talk to y'all next week. And of course, if you want to work with me, all the links are below. I also linked below the 3-year sun and rising sign forecast. So if you want to go review that video for your sun and rising sign, those are down there. I don't think I'm going to probably be doing any more sun and rising sign videos. Those take a lot of energy, number one. Number two, to really get a good gauge on what you need to hear, I really need to see what's in your chart. And you can't do that with a generalized sun and rising sign. I can't tell that your Mercury is in a spot that's going to be covered by the new moon, the full moon, any transit in between. But if it's happening and your Mercury is there, like you may be affected by it. So, anywho, that's kind of why I think a lot of people are done with sun and rising signs. I'm noticing. So, because they take a lot of work, they do take a lot of energy to pour into them. Anyway. So that's that. But the 3 year sun rising signs, it's linked below. Awakening Spirit Collective, how to work with me, all of those things linked below. Check them out. I'll talk to y'all next time. Take care.